is something which can be changed pretty easily when you're thinking. Best thing, of course, before you build the environment. I've been to Sydney visiting this hospital there, and they told me it's a pretty good thing. It's wonderful. It's an open space. There are some shops in it and a cafeteria and all these things. But you enter this place and you think it's an awful place. I don't want to stand it, and I want to get out of this hospital at once. So you make 2 steps in this house and say, oh, no, it's not mine. But it's, well, the lighting is perfect. The idea of making such a mall in a house is perfect. But acoustically, it really is a blame. It's horrible. And then, of course, there are a lot of other things. When you think about seeing, you think, for example, this is wet there. The floor is just, well, you may fall. So a lot of things really just don't work. We know, especially not knowing where sounds come from results in insecurity. This environment. So he gets not enough information with all the senses, and well, always causes a feeling of being insecure. And a real problem is that there are a lot of falls. And of course, in hospital, longer length of stay. The processing of information works according to the principle last in, first out. And, well, you never know at what step or what stage the person afflicted with dementia is. So you can't say, well, he's 80 years old, so build him an environment looking like in the 50s. But perhaps in this mind, he's, well, about 15 years up. You can easily understand that there would be fear. And when there is fear, there is a tendency to run, there is a tendency towards aggression, there is a tendency towards arousal, and there is a tendency to competence protection. My students went into 15 hospitals in Bavaria and asked nurses and carers. The nurses and carers said, well, there are a lot of problems, malnourishing, falls and injuries, anxiety and all these things. People who are around the patients all day long and all night long know what happened, and the others will not inform. The students went through the house and making just a kind of noise map, so they're only measuring decibels only because they had to have they had to feel where the hotspots of acoustics are in this house. And they came back, and it was the entrance, it was the emergency department, and it was the day clinic for people with dementia. So 3 things which we really thought it's incredible. And we tried to start to change something at the today, 10 minutes ago, I got the first answers that it really works. We did well some acoustic changes in this day clinic, and the nurses and carers give very good notes. Music would be fine for people with dementia, but in our setting it was not. 20 minutes having a very calm and quiet situation is more relaxing than 20 minutes classical music. And of course the worst thing was 20 minutes noise from. Chance to speak with Agnes Houston. I already know that you've already spoken to her as well. And I asked her, what's about hearing for people with dementia? She's diagnosed 10 years ago. And she told me, for example, I can be out having a meal. You know, you're in social setting, the noise gets louder and people get more wine with their meal. And it's just like a crescendo. I can't stand it. And I just want to finish the meal and get away. So in Glasgow, I went around restaurants asking for quiet areas. I couldn't understand they had children's areas, but they never had quiet areas. It seemed quite disheartening. Why not have quiet, intimate areas where you can just enjoy the company without all the bombardment of loud music and banging of dishes and noises? Sometimes my family, I think, and friends thought I was becoming strange and I was becoming grumpy and asocial and all that. But it wasn't. It was just my environment wasn't suitable for me, and I didn't know how to behave and how to care for people with dementia with fine acoustic environments. And I'm begging you, be a driver for change. So, thank you.